So you're a student interested in trying fountain pens, or maybe you've already tried one and just haven't had great luck. I've got 3 features that'll give you a better writing experience and hopefully give you a good time trying out fountain pens. If you're a student in the United States, it's likely that if you're using a pen, it's a basic ballpoint pen, anything you can buy cheap in a whole bag. However, if you were feeling a bit fancy, you might go for a Pilot G2, which is a gel rollerball pen, which will write significantly smoother and require less downforce than a ballpoint pen. Hey there, Anthony from Fountain Pen Sounds. Kind of humorous story. I used to personally keep a pack of Pilot G2s for myself throughout school, but anytime someone would ask for a pen to borrow, I had a giant economy-sized bag of like 100 Bic, just basic ballpoint pens that I'd give out. That way I could just give it to them and not have to worry about if they lost it or didn't return it, because they were super cheap. And I always just thought it was funny because every now and then I would get someone that was upset that I didn't give them my nice pen to use. For me, a quickly and easily accessible pen is at the top of my list. While I don't mind a screw cap for personal use, if I needed to cap and uncap it multiple times in a single session, this would be quite annoying for me personally. So a snap or press fit cap would be one of the most common examples of an easy and quickly accessible fountain pen. But there are plenty of more unique examples of quickly accessible fountain pens, such as the click to retract of the Pilot Vanishing Point, or an example that I have would be this Moonman A1, which is definitely based on the same design as the Pilot pen. So anything that gets you easy access to your pen so it doesn't dry out and you miss something important because your pen can't write would be my number 1 feature for what makes a good student fountain pen. On to the next feature would be the filling system. While personally I prefer vacuum and piston filler pens, in a school setting I'd actually lean more towards a cartridge converter pen because it gives a lot more ease of use, because worse come to worse, you're able to just grab a cartridge that you've got stored away in a bag and pop it in the pen if you happen to run out of ink at an inopportune time. And having the converter, you're still able to use bottled ink just like you would be with any other pen, so you're not missing out on any functionality of a fancier filling system beyond large capacity. The final feature I'd recommend for a perfect student fountain pen would be the overall price. And while the amount is completely subjective to the individual user, a lower cost pen will typically be a better option in a school setting, as it is very easy to misplace your pen, or someone could grab it when you're not looking to borrow and never bring it back. And having a fancy expensive pen would be quite upsetting to misplace or lose, so a lower cost pen would keep the impact to a minimum. There are good examples of fountain pens at nearly any price point, starting at a couple dollars, with the sky being the limit. What I feel matters the most is that you find a fountain pen that ticks as many of the boxes that you feel are important when it comes to different features, even some of the more subjective ones like the overall appearance of the pen, at the lowest reasonable price. That way, if it is lost, you don't have to worry too much about it. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I'll have a ton of links in the description if you're interested in picking up a fountain pen. It's fun to use one, even if you don't need one for school. They're just nice to have lots of different colors of ink that you can use, and just pens that write a lot different than what you can get from basic pens you pick up at the store.